Okay, so I wanted to just check the audio. Okay, so great. Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to discuss about to how to install certain packages, which makes your life much easier in drug discovery or computer-aided drug design, or even you can call it as molecular modeling as well as chem informatics. Even though I have uploaded many of the videos related to Python wrappers, notebooks, many are still having difficulties in installation. So I thought to give a quick session on that. And also, I would like to say many of the queries and feedbacks, because many of them were asking why these contents are being created. During this lockdown, many of the students, especially PhD researchers, contacted me for providing them project guidance, including internships. Since 5 years almost, uh, through my company, I am being giving internships. Of course, there is a different video where I'm talking a lot about internships and offerings. Basically, I'm creating content for those students and scholars so that I need not to repeat them. This is going to be there for them also for ready reference. And later I thought, why it should be only to them? Let us share it publicly so many of them get used to it. And second query was, apart from my professional uh, responsibilities, do I get time for this? Of course, yes. That's why during my free hours or weekends, I do work on this. And it's really interesting because you try to learn. I'm myself learning a lot in order before going public and sharing these things. So keeping all this aside as an ado, let me go into the topic. Myself, Giri, being very enthusiastic on teaching and sharing knowledge with many young minds. I can see that many of you are making use of it. I'm so happy and glad, which encourages me to do more and learn more, especially. Okay, great. So today our ready reference is to my GitHub page. There you will find a repository called as basics. If you click on that, you can there is some information. You can leave it that for time because I have to update that, but you can go to this folder called science, and when you go to science, that's where today we are going to work on. So today we will be looking at how to install Anaconda and its related packages, and also additional packages which will be very helpful for us in chem informatics, protein modeling, plotting Ramachandran plot, of course installing Gromacs without any compilation, Amber tools without any compilation, OpenMM, NAMD only for Linux, not for Mac or for Windows yet. And also let me tell you, Gromacs and Amber tools, and also they are also not for Windows. Then you have MDtraj, pytraj, MDAnalysis. nglview is a viewer, a 3D viewer that you can visualize structures, trajectories within the Python widgets. That's called IPython widget. Of course, in notebooks, Jupyter notebooks, which where I have already published MD notebook as well as modeler notebook. You have nglviews inbuilt into it, and also R package if someone is really working on statistics and others, and some QSR related. And RISE is something very interesting because you can do PowerPoint presentation. Rather than PowerPoint, you can do presentation in Jupyter Notebook using this package called RISE. I'll be adding up as soon as I get a trusted channels where we can install this. So in order to pull up these data, we need to add certain channels. So this is the channel called defaults. Anyway, it comes with Anaconda. Then Bioconda, Conda Forge. Below, if you go for modeler, there is a channel called Sally Lab. So these channels are required for it to run as per the right packages. So let us start with this. Use the package manager. Of course, you have to use a package manager to use the following commands. So I'm opening this in a new page. So this goes to Anaconda, and let me go back to the home page. So this is the Anaconda's home page, and where you can download the individual version. So ensure that you go to the individual version, which is free, and you can click on download. It will scroll down to these installers. So there is Windows 32-bit as well as 64-bit, and Mac and Linux it's only 64-bit. I would prefer command line. Of course, you can download graphical installer too. There is no difference, but command line I'm a bit more comfortable, so I'm doing that. Otherwise, in Windows it's straightforward. Just click next and go ahead, right? So that's all you have to do, and there are documentations available so that you can start with how to look at the installation, how to start with many other commands, and many other things will be here. Especially we will be working on Conda. So Anaconda is a collection of many packages together, including Jupyter Lab notebooks. Then you have Spider, which is like again an IDE for scripting or programming languages, and you have and many more others. I'm not going into one by one. You can go through it. So this is just I'm going through the documentation of Conda, which will tell you how to install it. Now let's imagine that you don't have much space in your computer, and you wanted to install not the full Conda, but you wanted to install something called as mini Conda, and that is also possible. So you can download a mini Conda. You just search for mini Conda and you will be able to do that. So there are several options available, and based on that, please read through the particular documentation and you can install them. And it is clearly mentioned you need minimum 3 GB of disk space. Anyway, so I have already downloaded this file which I showed you because I'm using a Mac. So I have downloaded the 64-bit command line installer. So let me go to the command line, and it was in my download. So I just said CD downloads. Don't worry, if you're using Windows, just download the graphics version and then just double click and install it. So no need to worry. This will be helpful if you're working on Mac or even for Linux. So the command to install is bash, then this is the downloaded file anyway, and just press enter. When you press enter, it will again warn you that are you sure to continue. Just again press enter. Now of course in the command line you have to go by pressing enter key or down arrow or page down, and it has to go through this license terms and other things. Please ensure that you go through if you're from a commercial entity or you're using for the right usage purpose, right? So the last update is September 28, 2020. So if you want to still update, of course, we can use commands later after installation. Now it is asking, do you accept? Yes, I do accept. And now it is asking where to install. You can change the path, but ensure it is okay, but still I'm asking you, requesting you, don't give any space between the folder names, right? that is really much good in most of the cases. So I'm okay with this particular path where to install. I just press enter. Now it says prefix. It goes to this. So it will take some time to initialize all the packages along with Anaconda. So it will be installing Python 3.8. That is what we have seen there. Let me go back again. So you can see here Python 3.8 as mentioned. So we will be installing Python 3.8. Don't worry if you have already installed Python 2.7 or other different versions, automatically Anaconda will take up the environment set to 3.8. And this installation will be also useful if you are using like different IDs like code or visual basic coder or sublime text or many of the others are available, so you can easily choose them. Or if you're using 9, of course you can use Python 3.8 from Conda environment. And additionally, it will also install packages like NumPy, scikit-learn, matplotlib, pandas, and many more. Not like TensorFlow or Keras that you have to additionally do. Most of the, like especially Seaborn, so all the basic packages are coming along with it, and you can install. And if you want to install any additional package, as I already showed in my GitHub page, you can always do that. So let it run. Yeah, so you can see it is extracting. So it is saying it will take almost 1 minute or 1.5 minutes. So we have to wait for some time. But if you have any questions, you can put it into the live chat. I will be able to answer unless this particular installation gets over. So it's only 21% more to go. So I will be demonstrating how to install Gromacs, then Modeler, and many more other packages, because you need not to do any compilation from the source, not required. You can directly do it. But only certain criteria is that for certain operating system, latest version might not be available. For example, Gromacs in Linux, it will install 2020 version. But as I told you already, I'm using Mac. So in Mac, it will install only 2019 version. Absolutely fine. There's slight changes, but absolutely fine. So there will be updates coming up soon. So you have to make sure which operating system you're using and which version you're installing. Anyway, before installation, it will pop up saying that which version they're trying to install. So these things are very important when you try to install certain packages, especially for molecular modeling and other purpose. For modeler, already I have uploaded the notebook for modeling the protein structure for your sequences using single template, one template. Of course, there are automated scripts which is going to help you to download the databases and many more things. And I have also uploaded the modeler's script for Jupyter Notebook for multi-template modeling also. But in that, only the last portion of result analysis and plot generation is pending, because some of the libraries I have some issues, so I'm trying to fix it. And coming to Gromacs, I already have protein water, the lysosome water tutorial from Gromacs notebook already in my GitHub. So let me quickly show that as soon as this finishes. So you can go to this particular GitHub. So you can go to Modeler Notebooks, and you will be able to see model basic 1. So in order to use this particular notebook, ensure that you should have Anaconda already installed. This is why I'm doing this session. So you have to download this file, and this is for single template, and advanced modeling is for multiple templates. So before using these two notebooks, of course you have to have Anaconda installed along with Modeler. And then MD notebooks is for molecular dynamics, where if you go to protein water, you will see the Gromacs based the first tutorial. being executed here. The advantage here is starting from initialization, removing water molecule, solvation, neutralization, minimization, then equilibration, everything is being taken care in this particular notebook itself, including your result analysis and plotting. So plotting, again, we have used matplotlib, and even visualization of the trajectories also being taken care. So only thing is, I have being it's a demo, I restricted the nanoseconds to 2, 5 and all. So ensure that you increase it in your MDP file so that the simulations will be much more meaningful what you're trying to run. And see, you can see all the plots will be there, and you can export those plots, and also visualization is also there. Of course, you will be not able to see the visualization in this window because you need to have NGL libraries to be installed. So you can make use of it. I have seen around more than 500 people already using this, and based on the stats anyway. Okay, so let me go back to the basics where we are already. And of course, we will be now, once Anaconda installation is done, we will be going through these each one of the commands to install packages. So let me check what is the status here. Oh, great. So it is asking, do you wish the installer to initialize by running conda init? So if you don't give anything, it's okay. Basically, I would give no, but if you're a very beginner, I would say yes. So when you give yes, what it happens is, when you open a command line, automatically it will be on conda environment. But here I do not want, because I want to use the normal shell, so that if whenever I require conda, or whenever I'm going to use something related to Anaconda, that time I can initialize them. So don't worry, for you, please give yes, don't give no. Now it's done, right? Installation is completely done. The problem here is, I'll tell you why. When I give no here, and if I give here conda, it will say I don't understand what is conda. So it will try to tell something. So what you can do is, there are two methods. One is, I will say conda config set active base false, so that it will not be active always. I am repeating it again. If you wanted this to automatically load always, you have to give true. In this case, I have given false only because I do not want conda to automatically load when I open my command line. It could be a terminal in Linux or Mac, or it could be MS-DOS command line in Windows. Right, so I just did that, and let's see if conda works. Conda list. Yes, because it's in the same terminal, so it should work. Now let me open a new terminal, shell, new tab, and basic. So this is a new terminal for me. I just say conda. Oh, it still works. I think I have to check it out. But anyway, these are the options that is available. Now let's start executing these commands. For example, first I wanted to install modular. But before that, I told you that you have to add these channels. So you just copy and then come here and just paste it. That's all you have to do, and enter. It says already the channel bioconda is already there, right? Let's copy paste the next channel, that is conda forge. Most of them works with the forge, conda forge. I just copy here and enter. That is also already there, right? Now let us install modular, and here the channel is a bit different. So in the install command itself, we have given the channel is salilab, and you have to install modular. I just enter, and it is going to run. Keep in mind, for working with modular, you have to request license, especially for academics. So you have to go to salilab.org. There you can request for your license, and you will get the license key via email. And then there is a config.py where you have to copy paste the license key, and it will install. So now let us see what is modular, which version it is getting installed. So it is getting installed modular 9.25. that is a version that is getting installed. and ensure that you have internet, because this requires internet on the background. And I say yes, it is downloading and gets installed automatically. So I don't want to extract, I don't want to initialize, nothing to be done, because in your normal modeler installation, of course, you have to download, extract, and set the environment variables, right? You need not to do that anything here. Straight away the modeler will work. Yeah, so here it's already telling you I have to edit this config.py, and I have to replace this particular character in that py file where I can get the modeler license key. So in order to get the model license key, you have to go to salilab.org and apply for it. You will get the key via email, and then you can insert into it. Now let's go to the next interesting package, Gromacs, right? Most of you will be having difficulty in installing and compiling Gromacs in some machines, not all of them. Mostly it is easy, very straightforward, but let's see how this does. I just gave Conda in BioConda Gromacs. As I already mentioned, in Mac it installs 2019 version, 2019 version, but in Linux it will install 2020 version. Now, if you ask me whether we will get the GPU version, yes, there is some manual tweaking is required, so I don't want to confuse. So for GPU, I still recommend to compile yourself so that the CUDA libraries and everything is read properly with the toolkit, so that there won't be any compatibility issues when you're running the GPU version. So this will be your CPU version. And it will be installed. So Gromacs usually takes time for initialization, even though we define the channel. So let it take some time. And we can install Amber tools. Most of the Amber from Amber 20, the Amber, it comes as Amber tools, and most of its features are completely free for academics. Only I think Sander and PMD, I think these are you have to pay. But on the CPU, most of the minimization you can do it with Amber tools. OpenMM is also very important, because they have also a lot of implementations on a simple example. What I can say is, like, if you want to add missing residues or missing atoms, adding hydrogens, all those your protein preparation can be done using OpenMM. So this is very well parameterized. And NAMD, of course, you can install NAMD, but it's from a different channel. So official channel is not yet ready, so we have to wait. MDtraj, pytraj, MDAnalysis, mostly these three of them are mostly used for MD simulation trajectory analysis or result analysis. So these has its own documentations available. So it installs, and already in my Gromacs notebook I have explained about what is about MDAnalysis, which was being used there. And nglview also, which I told you that we have to, in order to visualize the proteins and all, you can do that. nglview can be installed so that you can visualize a protein, trajectories, animations, creating movies, everything can be done within the notebook. So let me check back again. It's still taking time. Yeah, because I wanted to show you lively, so that it is anyway taking time, so that is okay. Let me check. Yeah, next we will install probably nglview, right? And then I will show you how to open the Jupyter notebook, and then we will end this session. But let this run. So let me check if I can open Jupyter notebook. So I'll go to Gromacs, and I'll go to modeler, and I will go to advanced model, and I will say Jupyter space notebook. So in order to open the Jupyter notebook, you have on the Conda environment, you have to give Jupyter space notebook. That's what you have to do. So it will open the browser with Jupyter notebook. So for the first time it will take a little bit few seconds, and then it will open up, but after that it will be fine, right? So now it has opened up. So this is my Jupyter notebook. So if I click on ADV model. This is exactly what is there in the GitHub. So you will be able to see all the scripts will be loading here. Take some time, as I told you for the first time. Yes, it has loaded. Yeah, all the so advantage here is you will have your input script as well as all the output will be listed in the notebook. So you need not to note it down or copy paste it or look at the log file always. Everything is there in the single page. So that's what I pretty much very much like this particular interface, which will be really helpful. Right, in between there will be nglview, so you can also plot graphs. Yes, and then yeah, this is where, so Jupyter has not displayed because we don't have nglview. So let's install nglview once the Gromacs is done. Let me check. Yes, Gromacs is still trying. Let me try to install by opening a new shell. I have never tried. Let me see whether I can install the nglview. So it completely depends upon your internet speed also, so keep that in mind. So it takes some time. So initial setup, these are the key packages that I can recommend for a computer aided drug designer. So it will be really helpful for you. So that once your packages are all, so yeah, I can install the nglview. So it is a 2.7.7 version that is going to install. I just give S, yeah, pretty much fast, and it gets installed. Gromacs is still running. Yeah. So the nglview is already installed, but keep in mind in my command I have already set two different commands to be executed after nglview. So sometimes if you're installing nglview via pip, that is Python installer, at that point of view you have to execute this command. Yeah, in mine it's not required because I did not install via Python. That's why it is giving error. So that's why I exactly said. And if you're using any Jupyter Lab, this extension is again required. Of course, I don't have a Jupyter Lab extension. So why I'm telling you these examples, because if you have already installed nglview using pip, or if you are using it via Jupyter Lab, unless you're executing these two commands, the nglview will not work. Now let us go back to the notebook. Yes, I'm just initializing nglview as nv. Yeah, I have to restart the kernel anyway, so let me restart the kernel. Okay, great. So once you're installing parallelly as well as keeping the notebook open, you have to restart the kernel, otherwise the new libraries won't be loaded here. So let me run the importing nglview again. No, still I have to reopen it probably. Let me check it. Okay. So I have to go back to here. Let me end this or shut down the Jupyter notebook and then open it again. So yeah, now let me finish this. Let me give it a head start so that we will continue with the other one. So you can see here Gromacs is installing 2019 version. So it took this much time to initialize it. So please have some patience, okay? And then give yes, enter. That's it. Automatically installs, compiles, binaries, everything will be done automatically. And on your command line, you can just give gmx. That's it. It starts with the molecular dynamics. Anyway, so here I'm just going to open it again, Jupyter Notebook. Okay, it has opened. I'm going to advanced model. I just wanted to show you the visualization, that's all. It should work, but let's try. So yes, so I'm here at the bottom and I'm just running it. Oh, still I'm having issues, so let me fix that straight away. because even when you are trying to install, you shouldn't have any issue. So pip install nglview, because I'm using the Python environment, so that could be a reason. So I just installed it using Python pip install nglview. That is also possible. And then remember, we have to add certain commands which have to be executed. This one, right? Jupyter ND extension enable, and I just enter it without any error. You should get, yeah, it said validated enabling the notebook extension. Now it should work. So let me go back to my notebook, refresh my kernel, and again execute it. Great, now it worked. Now let's visualize this. Just click run, and you have to see visualizer. Let us see that. Where is it? Yeah. I think I have some issues, so I don't know. Let me check where is the issue. Actually, it is loading, but I don't know. I have to refresh and see. Anyway, I will add that up. And for the Gromacs, I already have. Let me check if the lab also need to be enabled. No, that I don't have. I have to see. Usually this should work. Yeah, that is working, so this should also work, but I have to check anyway. So this is how it should work for you also, but I have to see if there is any library settings I have to check with that. And yes, Gromacs is also done, so let me check with the GMX. Yeah, I have to initialize the conda, so let me call the conda. Where is it? It should be here. Yeah, so I will say source users gplay anaconda bin activate. Great. And now I could say gmx. Yes, now it has initialized Gromacs. So you remember I gave no. This is because of that. Since I gave no after the installation, I have to execute this command each time I open up the terminal in order to execute any commands that I have to use it. So I have installed Gromacs already. It already started working. So I didn't do any sourcing or anything like that. Right? The similar way you can also install the others, for example, MDAnalysis, or let's say RICE, which I was telling you about the presentation capabilities, right? If you look one of the video where I have done for machine learning in drug discovery, if you fast forward to the about 80% of the particular duration, you will be able to see the demonstration of RICE. I have done it there. So I just give yes, and it installs the presentation capabilities. Let me see if I have to restart my browser. Otherwise I can show you immediately. Let me check if it works directly. And view cell tool. Yeah, it is working. Slide. So here I can say it should be a slide, and then I will say this to be a fragment. Okay, and now I will press Ctrl R, and it should become as a slide. Let's see if it works. I don't know. So not Control it's Alt R. I don't see it is loading up. There should be a icon also will come here for slideshow. So let me check, because in Mac a bit confused with the shortcuts. uh, yeah, the slideshow is still there. So I'll show this as slide and this as a fragment, and there should be an icon coming here for slideshow, but it's not coming, so I have to check that up. Right, so these are the difficulties when you switch between different operating systems. So it's usually Alt or Control, not Control but Alt R. I think I have to restart the Jupyter notebook to make it work. But anyway, I'm not doing that. Please try it out, and I already referred to your page where you can check that out. And similarly, I can install all the other packages also, like if you want a pytraj or MDtraj, again copy paste it. So that's all. So it's easy, and whatever important packages required, I have listed everything, and you can install it and start working on them. So the intention here is you can try avoiding all compilation, remembering all commands, editing files. It's all straightforward, and it does. So that's all from me for today, and I will try to update what all things to be fixed on the description, and this particular link is already there in the description of this video, so that you will get directly to access to it. So that's all from me for today. Thank you so much. Explore things. Bye for now.